Alright, so Garganacl. This dude doesn't really have too many sets that I feel like you can run with this guy. He's pretty straightforward, but he's very strong. Purifying Salt, this Pokemon can't be status. You don't have to worry about any sort of status. Toxic, I think that also includes Confusion. Will-O-Wisp, none of that. Don't have to worry about any of that. And then Ghost Power against it is halved. Ghost Power is a really strong neutral hitting attack, and Purifying Salt just helps to mitigate that, which actually goes very well with the Ghost Terra type. So we'll keep that in mind for later. The other reason Garganacl is very strong is Salt Cure. Salt Cure is a 40 base power move, not very strong, but it deals 1/8 max HP damage every turn to the opponent, and it's 1/4 HP if it's Steel or Water type. So anything that wants to try and switch into Garganacl that would likely be a Steel or a Water type defensively is going to get smashed by Salt Cure. So in a way, it sort of works as a, not a hard counter, but it really deals with its normal checks of steals or water types. And so Salt Cure is an extremely strong move. So the combination of Purifying Salt and Salt Cure mixed with its decent stats, Garganacl is just extremely strong. Now the first set that we have is basically run in either singles or doubles. We have our Iron Defense, Body Press combination with the stats spread to sort of complement that sort of build. So we have max HP, max special defense with the Careful Nature to then stack up Iron Defenses and Body Press with Salt Cure, obviously Recover and Leftovers for the extra recovery that Garganacl kind of needs. So Leftovers will be fine, but the thing is, the fact that Garganacl gets Recover is pretty nuts. He would have been fine with just running Protect on this set, but this dude can just recover all of his HP back, no problem. Now, because Rock typing is not the best defensively, we have the Ghost Terra typing. Now, the only two types that are super effective against Ghost types are Ghost types and Dark types, but the fact that we have Purifying Salt means that Ghost Power is halved against it, which means that it returns back to neutral hitting damage. So, therefore, Garganacl's only weakness at that point would be Dark type. So, that's why that's super strong. Next set we have a Rocky Helmet set, which is more based around being a defensive switch-in. So we have All Out, Iron Defense, Body Press, Salt Cure, Recover, which is the same move set as our last set, but we have additional EVs and Nature into defense so that we can actually switch in defensively, take a hit with Rocky Helmet, maybe boost with Iron Defense and then Recover, or Salt Cure as a mid-ground move to maybe counter switch in. With the Ghost type Terra as well on this, just to mitigate our weaknesses as much as possible. Again, just weak to Dark types. So I think this is actually a pretty decent set as well, although I still think the best set, I think overall, is probably around here, but I think a lot of people kind of predict this set at this point, so it might be useful to run something else. Now the next set I have is, again, Ghost Terra type. You're going to see plenty of that, but with the Choice Band, Stone Edge, Earthquake, Terra Blast with the Ghost type, and again, Salt Cure mid-ground with that little extra damage with the Choice Band. So Salt Cure, you just can't ignore the utility you get out of potential counters coming in and just Salt Curing your way to victory. But then we also have the Stab, Choice Band, Stone Edge, which if you want to run like Rock Slide or Rock Blast, you can, but I think because we're going for as much damage as possible with Choice Band, and plus since Stone Edge has that high critical hit ratio, I think it's just useful to just have Stone Edge on this build. Earthquake for an extra option, and then the Terra Blast Ghost type. If you're not too comfortable running Salt Cure too often, especially when you get to like the later game where you really need to break through a certain wall that really messes up your team, and something that resists Stone Edge and Earthquake, then the Ghost Terra type Terra Blast will actually, I think, come in handy, because again, it's a very strong mid-ground move, which would be a Ghost type move. Ghost type special attacks are, in my opinion, extremely strong and rather overlooked, and so the Ghost type Terra Blast, I think, is extremely strong on this, again, Choice Banded set. So you're going to get a lot of damage with the base 100 attack Adamant stat. Next one, we have a Mixed Defenses Stealth Rock set with Salt Cure, Recover, and Protect. I guess what I should say is Stealth Rock is just a really powerful move, because you're almost always going to get something out of it. 99 times out of 100, you're going to get use out of your Stealth Rock. And so Garganacl is a fantastic Stealth Rocker. You also have the Salt Cure for switch-ins, and then the Recover as well, with the Leftovers recovery on top of it, plus Protect to either scout out for a move or get the extra Leftovers recovery and the extra damage on the Salt Cure. So say for instance, you want to Stealth Rock turn 1 and then switch out. Then the next time around, you can Salt Cure when they switch out. Then you can Protect, get the extra Salt Cure damage and the extra Leftovers recovery. And I think that kind of synergizes pretty well, while also being able to scout out for choice locked moves. Now, the risk with this set is someone might want to go for a setup move, but because you are a Garganacl, they might think you're just going to start Iron Defensing, and so they might want to come out into their choice specs Pokemon that can probably take a couple little ticks of Salt Cure pretty easily, and then they'll want to immediately attack and just try to get as much damage as possible onto Garganacl so that it can't set up its Iron Defenses. And that's where Protect comes in handy. You can get the extra damage out Salt Cure, Leftovers, and you're able to scout out for the choice locked move so that you can switch into something else subsequently pretty effectively. So I actually think this can be a pretty decent set on Garganacl as well. And again, the Ghost Terra typing is super strong, but you can kind of put whatever you want. Next one, we have a set that's similar to the Iron Defense set, but this is a Curse set. Now, I don't really see a point in not running the Iron Defense set versus this one. So I guess this is more of just like a more fun set that you could run, but I think the Iron Defense one is just kind of better. But in this case, you get the extra damage off of Rock Slide instead of the Salt Cure. So you get your attack boost and defense boost with the Body Press and Rock Slide. So you have the option to go for a physical attack or the physical defensive attack with Body Press, and you still get your Recovers and Leftover. Again, if you want to run Iron Defense with Salt Cure, I think that's overall just better in my opinion. But if you want to run a more fun set and get a little bit extra damage off of the Rock Slide, then I think that might be potentially a better choice on certain teams very, very nichely. But I think overall you'll still want to run the Iron Defense set. But this can be fun too. The very last set is just specifically a double set, which has Salt Cure, Wide Guard, Helping Hand, Recover. If you want to remove Helping Hand for another physical type attack, or maybe like a Terra Blast Ghost, or like, I don't know, Hammer Arm, or your own Body Press, that's fine. A lot of Garganacls are running this first set of Iron Defense Body Press in doubles. But if you want the Wide Guard coverage, as well as the potential Helping Hands assistance, then this is also a very useful set as well. And again, if you want to remove Helping Hand and put something else, so if you want to just do the Body Press here, like, that's perfectly fine as well, because you're going to get a lot of mileage out of that. And so I think that's fine as well. But I think for this one, I just wanted to put more of a supportive set, while still being able to spam Salt Cure, and then also having Recover there for more of the, I guess, late game option to make sure that you can keep your health up as you're taking hits and Salt Cure is taking its tick damage down. And so, the thing about Garganacl is it's pretty straightforward with Salt Cure and Purifying Salt, and there's not really too many options that it gets outside of the really good options that it has. So I would say Garganacl is just a very straightforward Pokemon. I don't really think there's anything you'd want to run too far off of these sets. Again, these are just templates that you can copy and paste and then adjust on how you need it. But I don't really think Garganacl has too much room to get like too creative with the sets and still be as effective on your team. So I still think Garganacl is very strong, but I think it's limited in like the creativity and the variety that you can do with it. Now, I still think Garganacl is really cool. Purifying Salt, Ghost Terra typing is probably my favorite thing about it. I think that the Ghost Power halved against it is honestly overdoing it, and I don't know. I don't think it's overpowered, but it's like you give it so many extra bonuses and extra things like Salt Cure affecting, you know, Steel and Water types for even more damage. Like little extra snippets like that just make it so much stronger. Being able to have even more things that would check it kind of just push down further down the totem pole, that Garganacl can just deal with certain things a lot easier that would normally just be a soft or hard counter to it. So I think that's what really makes Garganacl strong, is that it just has very few weaknesses. I think the main weaknesses would be just a wall-breaking special attacker, something with just like extremely strong special attacking damage, like maybe like a Gengar or something. But besides that, Garganacl can deal with most other things in general. It's extremely strong, and I think a very like overall valuable teammate to have. So if you're thinking about using Garganacl, I would say he's definitely a good Pokemon to go for.